Hello, everybody. It's your girl, Days, and we're back with another video. So, today we're going to be talking about some questions I have received about how I do certain things with being in a wheelchair and having a baby now. One of my number one asked questions was, like, how I bathe him, which is very understandable because, typically you put them in the tub, which I have a walk-in shower, so boom, that cancels that out. And then also when you have a baby tub, you usually sit them on the floor. So is she sliding in and out of her chair? Is she putting the bath on her lap? Like, is she putting them in the sink? That was another thing. I did try the sink at first, but it was kind of hard stretching my arms in the sink, holding him. My arms was getting sore and my back was hurting. He was okay, but I was suffering. So we found another way. I was putting my son in the shower with me. I have a built-in shower chair, and it collapses on and off of the wall. So when I want to take a shower, I let it down. Then when I'm done, I fold it back up on the wall. But I was missing the experience of wanting to bathe with him. I know it sounds so trivial, but these are just some of the small things that, we take for granted when we have those opportunities, and when we don't, we miss them. So that was something that I had wondered actually my whole pregnancy. Like, I want to experience that. I want to experience taking a bath with my baby. I want to experience being in the water with him. I want to experience, him splashing the water. And, I want the whole experience of being a mother. And that was one thing that I thought I was going to have to miss out on, and I would never be able to experience it. Now, it is so crazy because I thought I understood the statement, how do I want to say this? I thought I understood the statement, if you want something bad enough, you'll make it happen. When I got in my chair, I didn't think I'd be able to live on myself, live on my own again. Boom, made it happen. I thought I'd have to have, help in the home. Boom, I live here successfully by myself. I thought I'd have to have somebody do my grocery shopping. Boom, figured it out. I thought, I wouldn't be able to go back to school. Boom, I'm in school part-time. I didn't think I'd be able to have a baby and take care of him on my own. Boom. I'm a single mother and I'm doing freaking terrific. Like, I'm doing great, you guys. My baby was 2 months early and he's meeting all of his milestones. He is scooting. He is, working on eating. He's 5 months. He is definitely where he's supposed to be at with his weight. I got me a little teddy bear over here and we are doing so great. And I'm so proud to be able to say that I made that happen. I had so many people tell me I shouldn't have a baby. Are you sure you want to do this? Did you really think about it? Just so many naysayers and people who doubted me and doubted me being able to go forward with the pregnancy itself and then actually having a baby. They like, okay, it was cute. You wanted to be pregnant. Now you going to bring the baby home? Like, well, what did y'all think I was going to do? Leave it at the hospital? But yes, I had a lot of people who doubted me and didn't think I could do it, didn't think I should do it. But we're here. We're successfully here. My baby is happy, healthy, he's thriving, and we are on this journey together. So boom, back to the wanting to take a bath. I never understood the statement, if you want something bad enough, you'll make it happen, until this moment came. I sat up for like 3 or 4 days wondering how I was going to take a bath with him. Because when we're in the shower, I'm joking. I'm like, dang, my baby probably ain't even going to know what no bath is. Like, he's not going to understand the whole theory behind a tub because all he knows is showers. Because when I was putting him in the baby bath, he didn't really care for it. He was looking around at me like I was crazy. But when we were in the showers, he really enjoyed it. He'd look at me. He'd lick the water. He'd smile. He was laughing. We really enjoyed it. That's mommy and son time. Like, I call that our bonding time. You wanted to talk? You wanted to talk some? That's mommy bonding time? Okay, he wanted to throw his 2 cents in. But yes, he really enjoys shower time. So I stayed up for like 3 days trying to figure out how I was going to take a bath with him. Because like I said, I have a bucket list of things I want to accomplish, and that is on my bucket list. So boom, everybody knows me. To know Dejanikas know, I'm going to get on Amazon and I'm going to find it, okay? So I started looking for a tub. I kid you not, I looked for a tub. I have heard, like, the little joke, like, oh, you can find anything on Amazon. You could probably find a car. But I did not think I could find no tub. So at first I'm like, dang, all I see is like actual ceramic tubs, like the ones that you get installed in your bathroom. So I started looking for inflatable tubs. Now, something in my spirit wasn't sitting right with that, because I'm like, what if it starts to deflate like an airbed? Like, what if it start going out while we're in it? That's definitely not safe. Or like, how am I going to push myself back up to get, you know, on my shower chair and out of the tub? I didn't feel comfortable doing that. So as I'm scrolling, I'm getting discouraged. I didn't gave up. The next day, I'm like, no, I wanted it so bad. Like, I had a dream I was in the tub with my son. And that just pushed me, like, even further. Like, okay, no, I really want this. And like I said, like, keep in mind, it seems so simple. But when you're already limited to, like, what people think you can and can't do, it's not really your point to prove them wrong. But it feels good when you accomplish something that you really want, that everybody feels like you can't do or shouldn't do. So, you know, needless to say, I kept looking the next day. I stumbled across a collapsible tub. Like, yes, a collapsible tub. It's like this very thick plastic at the top and the bottom, and in the middle it's silicone. And that's the part that makes it collapsible. You guys, this was literally God telling me, like, I told you not to give up. I told you not to give up yet. Because as soon as I was finna get ready to close out my Amazon app again, I gave one more scroll, but it wasn't even a scroll on purpose. I swiped my finger to like close my app, and it drug across it, and they swiped my screen up, and I saw the freaking tub. So I'm looking at the tub and I'm looking at the reviews, and at the end I'm going to insert, a picture of it filled up, and I'll try to insert one collapse, because I did forget to take one while it's collapsed, but you'll get the point once you see it. And yeah, it turns flat like when you want to close it up. It's a plug in it, and we did use it. His godmother bought him a bath set, and it's crazy because at the time I had a walk-in shower, and she knew I didn't have a tub, but she bought a bath set, and it got toys in it, the little temperature duct to let you know if it's still hot, like let you know if the water's too hot or whatever, the little thing to wash his hair, yeah, you get it, the bath set. And I'm like, well, I'll never be able to use it. But, I got it still. And I instantly thought of that, like, when the tub got here. I wanted to use it that day. But it was a plastic tubing that comes with it to, pour the water in. But the tubing was very flimsy and thin. So, like, the water would leak on the side. And me, using my innovative mind and my resources, I went back on Amazon and I found a plug stop, and it stops the tub up. So it literally works out perfect. I was so happy. I was so excited. So how I do it is I, roll in the bathroom first, and I plug the tub up, and I start filling up the water. So while I'm filling up the water, I do like everybody else, while the water's filling up, I'm getting him ready. He's in the middle of the bed, or I put him in his bed. His dad calls it baby jail. I put him in his bed, or I put him in the middle of my bed, and I roll and get his clothes together, and I get my robe together. All his bath stuff was together. I took out his toys and his duck, and I started washing it because it came straight out of the box, so I wanted to make sure it was clean. So I washed out his little bucket toys, his duck, his little the thing to wash his hair. Like, I started washing everything off and getting us ready for the bath. Y'all, we got in there, and he was just smiling and kicking and splashing the water. I think he had a flashback because that's him making all that noise. But he was smiling and kicking and splashing, and we just had a great time. And he started looking at me like I was crazy because I just started crying. I started crying uncontrollably because I was just so touched. Like, my heart was happy because, like I said, I thought this was something that was stolen from me. I thought this was a moment that was going to be stolen from me. I thought this was something I would not be able to experience. And I literally thought back to before I was ever even pregnant. My sister had my nephew back in last September. So not the September that just passed, but the September before. We were at a birthday party for my mom, and I had looked at my sister and my aunt, and I asked her, I'm like, if I want to have a baby, would y'all help me? Because I had just been told, of course, we were all looking at my nephew and we were excited and stuff, and somebody looked at me and said, like, you better not have no kids. Like, you just don't need to have no kids. Talking about my health and me being in the chair. And I'm not going to lie, it really hurt me. It hurt my heart to know, like, that's what somebody thought about me. To, like, it was like a slap in the face, because I've done everything I could to prove everybody wrong and to show them, like, I can do everything despite the odds, despite the challenges, despite, what everybody told me I couldn't do. I'm constantly showing everybody wrong. I'm constantly showing everybody different. And to hear that was a slap in the face, like, I bet not have no kids. I don't need to have no kids. It really hurt, nonetheless. So I asked my sister, I'm like, if I want to have a baby, like, would you help me have a baby? Would you help me, like, take care of the baby? And she looked at me and she said, yeah. And it seemed something so simple and so crazy, but y'all, that meant the world to me. To know, like, well, if I want to do it, it's somebody behind me who's going to make sure it happens, who's going to make sure he's okay, or she, who's going to make sure that, I don't miss out on something just because the world doesn't see fit that, I deserve that because of my circumstances. And you know what? I can say that since I've had my son, she has kept her word. And I thought of my sister like, well, if she's willing to, be resourceful and find ways so that I can get what I want and make sure that this happens for me, why can't I put forth, per se, the leg work, pun intended, but for me to be able to have this. So when I thought of that, I'm like, I got to make it happen. I told everybody, like, how bad I wanted a baby, how bad I wanted my own family. So if I wanted it bad enough, then that means I want the experiences that come with it. And if this was an experience that I wanted, I was not going to let nothing steal it from me. So it goes back to, like, everything that was supposedly stolen from me when I lost my legs. I lost the ability to walk. It wasn't stolen from me. Like, my chair didn't stop my life. It taught me how to live. It taught me how to be resourceful. It taught me, it taught me how to find ways around some stuff. It taught me how to find ways to make it happen. Yeah. And that is the legacy that I'm going to leave my son with. That's the lesson I'm going to leave him with. That despite all odds, despite what you go through, despite the obstacles, despite the challenges, despite the naysayers, despite the doubters, despite everything working against you to tell you you can't do it, you can't have it, it can't happen, it's not for you. This chair and losing my ability to walk taught me how to live. It taught me how to make something happen. It taught me to find the better outlook of everything. It taught me how to go for what I want. And that's what I'm going to teach my son. It can happen. Your mother is in a wheelchair, 25, a single mother, and going to school. Your mother is in a wheelchair, but she is doing everything that nobody thought she could. She's taking care of herself and you. She cooks. She cleans. My house is never dirty. She does laundry by herself. She plays with you by herself. She gets out of her chair. She climbs out of her chair to get on the floor and play with you. You excited? He telling y'all what else we be doing. But I make that happen. And I'm proud to say that it really like solidifies any doubt that anybody had, that it doesn't matter. It's null and void. It's non-relevant, because despite what everybody thought I could or couldn't do, I'm making it happen. My son has not missed a beat. My son has not missed a milestone. From the moment I pushed him out, they discharge you after having a baby. Of course, if nothing's wrong, 24 hours later. My son was in the NICU for 2.5 weeks. I rolled through that hospital every day for 2.5 weeks. Not having somebody push me. Not, I'll just video call. Not, I'll just call up there and check on him. I rolled up there every day to make sure that my son was okay, to make sure he was off the CPAP machine, to make sure he was no longer under the light for his jaundice, to make sure he was no longer on oxygen, to make sure he was out of his crib, to make sure they call it popping the top when they're in the NICU, to make sure he's meeting all his milestones. I was the first one to feed my baby. When that NG tube was in him, I was the first one to feed him by syringe. I was the first one to be able to be there when they took his NG tube out. I was the first one to give him a bottle. I was the first one to change those diapers and give him a bath, despite what everybody told me I could or could not do. So before I get to preaching and going in on just the gloriousness of proving everybody wrong and showing them, I hate to say it, but showing them they were wrong. Showing them the power of the God that I serve. Showing them everything. This is what this chair taught me. It did not stop my life. It didn't end it. I didn't, lose myself when I lost my legs. It taught me how to live. It taught me that whatever I wanted, I needed to go for it. It taught me that whatever I wanted, find a way. Don't be lazy, get up. Don't be lazy. Don't get discouraged. It's a lot of people. I know people on 2 legs, walking who get discouraged. So, shoot, why can't I? But I can't stay there. I can't stay in the minds of, I can't do this. Make it happen. Because now I got somebody watching me who needs to know that you can make it happen. It's going to happen. I got somebody watching me who needs to know, get up. This is just a clip of the actual tub. It's literally the size of a tub. It's tall. And this was just like our little short snippet of mommy and son bonding time. He really did enjoy the water. He always has a serious face. I don't know why. He always just looks so serious. But he was really enjoying the water. He was splashing around. He discovered splashing. He was discovering that he did enjoy licking the water. He liked the duck and the little toys that came with the set.